Hello everyone and welcome to this exciting session on equilibrium for G Main Class 11 Chemistry. Today, we are diving into a fascinating topic, buffer solutions. Have you ever wondered how your body maintains a stable pH, or how certain chemical reactions proceed smoothly without drastic changes? The answer often lies with buffers. We'll explore this concept across 4 levels: easy, medium, hard, and hardest, building your understanding step by step. Get ready to uncover the secrets of pH stability. Let's start our journey at the easy level, understanding the basics of what buffer solutions are and why they are so special. On this slide, we'll define a buffer solution as a chemical superhero that resists changes in pH when small amounts of acid or base are added. Think of it like a shock absorber for pH. We'll then look at its key components: a weak acid and its salt, conjugate base, for an acidic buffer, or a weak base and its salt, conjugate acid, for a basic buffer. For instance, a common acidic buffer is acetic acid and sodium acetate. Understanding these components is the first step to grasping how buffers work. Now, let's simplify how these buffers perform their magic. Imagine an acidic buffer. If you add a tiny bit of acid, the conjugate base component quickly mops up those extra H ions, preventing a big drop in pH. Conversely, if you add a tiny bit of base, the weak acid component reacts with your ions, again keeping the pH relatively stable. This balancing act is the core principle. The main takeaway is their incredible ability to maintain a relatively constant pH, which is vital in countless applications, from our own bodies to industrial processes. Time to test your foundational understanding with some quick practice questions. These will help you confirm your grasp of what a buffer is, its basic components, and its primary function. Take a moment to think about each one before moving on. Ready to deepen your knowledge? At the medium level, we'll explore the how and why behind buffer solutions in more detail. Here, we'll dive into the actual mechanism of buffer action, explaining it through the common ion effect. We'll use specific examples like acetic acid sodium acetate for acidic buffers and ammonia ammonium chloride for basic buffers. You'll see how the presence of a common ion shifts the equilibrium of the weak acid or base, enabling the buffer to neutralize added H or O ions effectively. This detailed look will solidify your understanding of their remarkable stability. Next, we introduce the cornerstone of buffer calculations, the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. This powerful formula allows us to calculate the pH of an acidic buffer using its pK and the ratio of the conjugate base to the weak acid. Similarly, we'll learn how to calculate pOH for basic buffers. We'll also define buffer capacity, a crucial concept that tells us how much acid or base a buffer can handle before its pH changes significantly. A higher concentration of buffer components means a greater capacity. Understanding the optimal buffer range is key. A buffer performs best when the concentrations of its weak acid base and conjugate salt are roughly equal, meaning the pH is close to the pK. We'll explore why this is the case and how buffers generally work within a specific pH range, typically within 1 pH unit of the pK. Finally, we'll touch upon the widespread applications of buffers, highlighting their critical role in biological systems like blood pH regulation and various industrial processes. Now, let's apply the concepts we've just learned at the medium level. These 5 practice questions will challenge you to use the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation and apply your understanding of buffer capacity and optimal range. Work through them carefully to strengthen your problem-solving skills. Welcome to the hard level. Here, we'll delve into the quantitative aspects, derivations, and more nuanced considerations of buffer solutions, preparing you for complex problems. First, we'll rigorously derive the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation from the equilibrium constant expression of a weak acid. This derivation will provide a deeper understanding of its foundation. We'll also discuss the various factors that influence a buffer's pH and its capacity, such as the ratio of components, their absolute concentrations, and the impact of temperature on Ka values. Understanding these factors is crucial for predicting buffer behavior under different conditions. Choosing the right buffer system for a desired pH is a common challenge. We'll learn a systematic approach, selecting an acid-base pair whose pK is close to the target pH, then fine-tuning the component ratio, and ensuring sufficient concentration for adequate capacity. This slide will also clarify the concept of buffer range and explain why buffers break down outside this effective range when one component is depleted. This knowledge is essential for practical buffer preparation. Finally, we'll connect buffer solutions to titration curves. You'll see how the buffer region emerges during the titration of a weak acid with a strong base, characterized by a slow change in pH. We'll identify the Huff equivalence point as the point of maximum buffer capacity, where pH equals pK. Understanding these visual representations provides a powerful insight into how buffers function dynamically during acid-base reactions and helps in analyzing experimental data. It's time for the hard-level practice questions. These 7 problems will require you to apply derivations, perform calculations for buffer preparation, analyze buffer behavior during titrations, and explain complex concepts. Tackle these to solidify your advanced understanding of buffer solutions. Congratulations on reaching the hardest level. Here, we'll explore advanced quantitative problems, delve into complex biological and industrial applications, and discuss the intricate details of buffer systems that are critical for competitive exams. We begin with the quantitative aspects of buffer action, focusing on how to precisely calculate pH changes when strong acids or bases are added to a buffer. We'll work through examples, emphasizing the stoichiometric reaction followed by the equilibrium calculation using the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. We'll then move to polyprotic acid buffers, understanding how multiple dissociation steps create distinct buffer regions, which is fundamental to biological systems like the phosphate buffer. This slide is dedicated to the sophisticated physiological buffer systems that maintain the incredibly narrow pH range of human blood. We'll dissect the bicarbonate buffer system, highlighting the interplay between lungs and kidneys. We'll also examine the phosphate buffer system and the crucial role of protein buffers, especially hemoglobin. Understanding these complex biological mechanisms is vital for appreciating the significance of buffers in living organisms. Next, we'll introduce the concept of the buffer index, a more rigorous quantitative measure of buffer capacity, and discuss its mathematical derivation. We'll also explore the practical considerations of preparing buffers with specific ionic strengths, which is critical in biochemical research and industrial processes where ionic environment affects molecular stability and reaction kinetics. This level of detail is often encountered in advanced chemical and biological engineering. Finally, we'll broaden our perspective to the extensive industrial applications of buffer solutions, from pharmaceuticals and food processing to textile dyeing and analytical chemistry. We'll also address the challenges associated with using buffers, such as their temperature sensitivity, dilution effects, and the salt effect, which can cause deviations from ideal behavior. This comprehensive view highlights the real-world impact and complexities of buffer chemistry. Now, let's tackle the first set of hardest-level practice questions, from Q1 to Q5. These problems demand a deep understanding of quantitative calculations, physiological applications, and advanced theoretical concepts. Take your time to analyze each scenario and apply your comprehensive knowledge. Here are the remaining hardest-level practice questions, from Q6 to Q10. These will further test your ability to explain complex phenomena, design buffer systems, and critically evaluate the limitations of theoretical models. Successfully solving these will demonstrate a mastery of buffer solutions at a competitive level. And that brings us to the end of our in-depth exploration of buffer solutions. We've journeyed from basic definitions to advanced applications, covering everything you need for G-Main and beyond. Remember, consistent practice is key to mastering these concepts. For more such comprehensive educational content and to continue your learning journey, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates and more engaging lessons. Keep learning, keep growing, and excel in your studies.